Hello everyone, thank you so much for clicking on today's video and welcome back to my channel. Today's story is about an individual who reaches out to Reddit to ask them if it's okay to take a 3-hour nap. But as usual with my posts, things aren't really as they seem. As it turns out, that 3-hour nap is the only sleep that OP gets, and that the situation in their home is way more ominous than we could have imagined. I do hope that you enjoyed this video. If you do, please give it a thumbs up. Anyway, onto the story. Am I the a-hole for taking a 3-hour nap every afternoon and expecting my husband to look after the kid and only wake me up for emergencies? My husband, a 38-year-old male, and I, a 34-year-old female, have been married for 5 years. We have a 4-year-old daughter and a 3-month-old son. Our son has a health condition and needs to be fed every 40 to 80 minutes. I work in IT and can easily work from home and generally make my own schedule. My husband works from 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. I get up every hour at night to feed our son so that my husband can sleep. I drop our daughter off at kindergarten in the morning and then work and look after our son. I obviously don't get much sleep during the night, so I've started to go to sleep from 3:30 in the afternoon to 7 p.m. in the evening. I made it clear that I am not to be woken up unless it's an emergency. My husband looks after the kids and cooks tea while I'm asleep, and at 7 we all eat. After that, we take turns reading stories to our daughter as a bedtime ritual. She's usually down for the night at 8. Then my husband and I spend time together from around 8 to roughly 9:30, which is when he goes to sleep. After that, it's only me looking after our son so my husband can sleep throughout the night. I usually do some more work and go to sleep at around midnight, but obviously very interrupted sleep since I have to get up every hour. My husband has started complaining recently. He doesn't think I should sleep in the afternoon because during that time, childcare is on him completely. He wants some time to relax when he gets home, but the thing is, I need a few hours of uninterrupted sleep too, otherwise I'll go crazy. Our son will most likely outgrow his condition and should be able to live a normal toddler life by the time he's 18 months. I can't possibly not sleep for another year and 3 months though. My husband isn't happy. So am I the a-hole? OP then also added an edit. I should clarify that I don't actually sleep at night due to the feeding pattern. My nap is the only sleep that I get. My husband doesn't want a nanny and he doesn't want to be a stay-at-home dad either. The overwhelming judgment was not the a-hole. And somebody commented, not the a-hole, offer him to swap the shifts. You get your nighttime sleep and he can nap if he comes home from work. Let's see how he likes that. And then another Redditor commented, so let's review the situation. You work 20.5 hours a day, he works 12.5. You sleep roughly 3.5 hours a day, he sleeps 7.5 hours a day. OP said in one of the comments, his mother doesn't like me very much because I choose to keep working after we had our daughter. But when I make $150,000 and he makes only $50,000, I can't really be a stay-at-home mom. My husband doesn't like my family, so I can't really have them help out. This commenter replied, what would he do about it? For example, asking family to help. OP said, I'd rather not think about it. And in another thread of comments, OP said, he doesn't work a hard 8-hour shift. He's a personal trainer and spends a good amount of time of his shifts watching Netflix. I have a full-time job. Not an easy one. I have a whole department I'm responsible for, and I care for the kid. And then this commenter replied, yeah, there's more red flags here than a Chinese parade. And then this commenter also said, holy moly, it doesn't end there. OP said, I suggested we get a special needs nanny for the mornings, but my husband doesn't trust strangers in the house. I also offered to pay him $50,000 a year if he would quit his job and be a stay-at-home dad, but he didn't want to be paid by his wife, and he wanted to keep a quote-unquote real job to feel manly. This commenter said, OP, Your husband is literally saying that quote-unquote feeling manly is more important to him than the health of his wife or kids. A real man does not need external validation to feel manly. Also, a real man would suck it up and put the actual needs of his wife and kids first instead of trying to pretend like those needs don't exist. In my opinion, you need to talk to someone who can help keep you and the kids safe, and a professional marriage counselor to figure out if it's healthy for you to stay in this situation. This feels well beyond the pay grade of this subreddit. And then there was an ominous comment from OP that suggested a horrible situation. OP said, "I can't push any more than I already have. My husband isn't the type of person you reason with." Somebody asked, "Then why are you with him?" And OP replied, "Because I'm afraid to leave." It's been a while since I last posted, but a lot has happened, so I figured that I should update you. Making this post has been an eye-opener for me, and I decided there and then that I was done. So thanks to everyone who told me what I desperately needed to hear. I started gathering evidence which would allow me to leave relatively safely. After I had enough evidence, I prepared to leave. I gathered all the documents and secretly packed up some stuff for the kids and myself. I informed my parents and my brother about the situation. My parents immediately turned my brother's old room into the new kids' room, and my old room has never stopped being mine. I waited for my husband to be gone, and then my brother picked us all up. I left a message for my husband explaining that I wasn't coming back and that I'd be filing for divorce. I also told him about all of the evidence so that he wouldn't do anything stupid. I've been at my parents' for nearly a week now. We have a carer who stays here 3 nights a week, and I share the other 4 nights with both my parents. My dad is retired, so he looks after the kids for a good portion of the day. I have talked to a lawyer, and she said that I will likely get full custody. My soon-to-be ex has left some nasty messages, but hasn't shown up, so I feel relatively safe. I don't think that he will fight for custody, since he was always disappointed that our daughter wasn't a son, and our son isn't the strong little boy that he wanted either. As of now, I will stay with my parents. The kids are happy, my parents are happy, and I had 7 whole hours of sleep last night. And then OP added an additional comment. "I'm a different person now. My daughter noticed a change too. Children are so sensitive, so I know that I made the right decision." So guys, what did you think about this? Supposedly between the original post and the update, there was a middle post. However, and this was confirmed by OP, that middle post was deleted because there were mentions of physical violence perpetrated by the husband, and it was against the rules of the subreddit. But I'm so glad that OP is out of that situation. Leaving a situation like that is honestly one of the most dangerous times for somebody who's in abusive relationships. I'm so glad that OP is safe. I'm so glad that their children are safe. But honestly, can we take a minute to acknowledge how effed up the husband is? Like what? Your son is 3 months old and you're worried about him not being a quote-unquote healthy baby? Like what's wrong with you? I hate people like that. I really do. Anyway, I'm glad that this ended on a happy note. I do hope that you enjoyed this story. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe if you'd like to hear more stories from Reddit with updates.